greatly. Thank you so much for jumping on here today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We appreciate you guys taking time out. Different parts of the world. Thank you and welcome people from Europe, from Asia, from all over. We definitely have one of our people speaking tonight, calling in from Bali. So different parts of the world. We're going to go over all of our Nelo Life trade over the next little while. Just basically really show you what we've been working on, all the things that have gone into this, the years and years and years of learning, but also the incredible technology we have that goes into everything that's going to definitely going to launch here shortly to help lead you guys to success for sure. And so my name is Nick Sorensen. For those of you who do not know, I've been in this industry for, I think 14 years. About 5 years ago, I was introduced to a few gentlemen, and it was just for a way that I could diversify some of my own personal funds. And so one of the guys you're going to hear from today was the first person that I actually met, and he set up my first trading software. And so he walked me through it. Probably got a little impatient with me. Probably got a little bit frustrated because I was incredibly skeptical on what it was. And that started my personal journey in that space, of using algorithms, using bots, trading the financial sector. And it was completely and totally addicting on basically, what it could do for people's financial well-being and how it could actually lead to my own personal success for my family, for people I know. It's been a crazy journey, an up and down journey, right? There's a lot of ways that you can actually have success in that space, from, learning all about it, education, to alerts, to different technologies, different algorithms. What I've learned, it is a massive learning curve, right? In fact, they say in that space that about 97% of people do not have success. And so the individuals we're going to bring on today, they're going to go over through, kind of this platform, what we've been launching, have been in this for years, been in this game for years. I definitely give them massive props for the unbelievable, not only attention they have, but the persistence they've had to basically go and have wins, have losses, have wins, have losses. And I would say definitely have perfected something that can be very, very simple for people to have success. And so I'm going to jump out of the way right now and bring on one of those individuals. And so this is a guy who's been in, the direct sales relationship marketing industry for over 10 years. He's had massive success there, teams in the tens of thousands, seven figures. But what I love about him too is he's like, hey, immediately he wanted to find a way to diversify, get multiple streams coming in. And so before we jump in and I turn over to him, just let you guys know this is a product that is for outside the United States only, 1,000%. When you guys enroll, then you are from the United States. You will not even see this in your back office. Also, when we do launch this, there'll be a platform people have to get KYC through of their place of residence. But we do believe it's something that can really propel, the people forward that do get involved with it. I think you'll see exactly, all the years of experience have gone into it, the incredible amount of technology, and you'll see how it can definitely lead to people's success. And so one thing I love about what we're doing here at Nelo Life is our goal is just to do things better based off our past experiences, right? Based off our past success, based off our past failures. Those of you that have got started here in these last 6 days since we turned this thing on, you guys have seen that, we have an incredible travel platform that is very simple to navigate. The prices are incredible. Early on, we're seeing the average user, $200 in savings. And so everything that we deliver, our goal is to just do it better, right? And so this IntelliBlend Nelo Life trade, based on our experiences, based on what you're going to hear from these individuals, their experiences, is a very simple, safe, much better way to have success. And so I'm going to jump out of the way. Like I said, Derek, he's done incredible things in this industry, built teams in the tens of thousands, 7 figures of development. He has substantially better hair than I do. He is like 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times a better presenter. I've seen this guy speak in front of thousands of people, and he's incredibly, incredibly dynamic. But he's also been trading for 7+ years, and he's been able to chase that and definitely have success. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Mr. Derek, and take it away.
Okay, check. Can you hear me? 777 in the chat. If you guys can hear me, thumb up if you can hear me. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, awesome. Hey, everyone. Happy Wednesday. What is going on? I'd say really from all over the world, because I know we got people calling in and jumping on this Zoom from everywhere, from Southeast Asia to Europe to the United States to probably South America to literally the whole planet. So it's a privilege. It's an honor to be able to jump on with everyone on here. And I know there's a lot of excitement. I know there's a lot of people that are really thrilled to see what is possible with what this commitment is that you guys made in order to be a part of this. And I don't take it lightly. I really don't. I think that this is an industry that changes lives. It's changed my business partner Cameron and I's lives immensely. Before I show you guys the goods, the juice that you guys have been wanting to see, I do want to share just a little bit about myself. I originally am from Seattle, Washington. I went to college at University of Hawaii, and I was in a position where I never knew anything about this industry. I didn't even know it existed. But my first like real job when I was 19 was making $9 an hour at a call center. And then I met someone making $3 grand a month in network marketing, and it just basically showed me it was possible, showed me it was real. Dropped out of college, moved in with Cameron, my buddy on the call, and fast forward, we've done some pretty awesome stuff. That does not mean it was a straight trajectory upward of success. We had a lot of pitfalls, a lot of failures, a ton of mistakes. But if you're persistent, like many of you that are successful on here know, you can see some amazing results and your life can change. And this industry is something that does that for you. So what we really wanted to identify, what we really wanted to find is a way that everyday people that fall in love with this industry the same way that we fell in love with it, as they're actively growing their business, right? As they're actively building their teams, pouring into their groups, serving people, getting on Zoom calls like this, exposing the opportunity to new people, and really sharing what this vision is as they're building their income and their own wealth, be able to diversify that wealth in a way that can build long-term generational wealth also. I myself know what it's like to work really hard and create something that you put blood, sweat, and tears and years of your life into, and then one day to wake up and the whole thing disappears. And you sit there and you go, oh my gosh, I almost wish it never would have happened in the first place, because then I wouldn't know how sweet it was to have it, and then what it's like when it's gone, right? It's a horrible situation to be in. It's incredibly unfortunate. And I would guess that most of the people on this call have experienced something like that, whether that's an investment, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a business that you're in. It's not fun, and we don't like it. And one thing that Cameron and I hate is we hate losing money. We do, because we have before. We know what that's like. And so from the first few years we got in this industry, we had a lot of success. We had to make some pivots based off different things. And then when we found trading, we saw it as a vehicle that could allow us to potentially really capitalize on giving people a vehicle and a platform that would allow them to take the money that they make in either their job, their work, their everyday life, or their business, and be able to have other sources of income that they can lean on when they're having a hard time, that they can lean on when rents are overdue, right? That they can lean on when they have an oil change they didn't expect. And so the idea of that and the reality of that are two completely different things. I wish I could say that it was easy and simple, but to manifest that reality and to create a product like that or something like that for people, unfortunately takes a lot of split testing, a lot of back testing, a lot of money, a lot of investing, a lot of time, a lot of people that tell you they can do something and they actually don't deliver, and a lot of overpromising. And that's what Cameron and I experienced for the last close to 7 years now. We have been fortunate enough to build very large organizations in the network marketing space, but we also done it with trading. We developed our own community that we have that at one point, I might as well just share my screen while we're on here. I have this photo still. One of our groups that we have through our trading community that we built grew so extensively that it had close to 40,000 members in our group, right? And these are all people that were wanting to use our trading services, that were wanting to partake in the products that we offer and so forth. It looks like my computer is being a little slow, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I can just talk through it. Some of you are in that group already. You can ask someone else about it. You can ask Dante, Nick, so forth. But we built a very large trading community. And when we first started, the premise was really trying to educate people on trading, right? Trying to teach someone how to become a trader, trying to teach someone how to be profitable in the markets. We quickly realized that was way easier said than done. Most people do not recognize this, but the majority of people that are everyday just like retail traders that go set up a broker account or go try and trade themselves, most of those people are going to get burned. Why? Because you're competing with institutions, hedge funds, banks, Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, massive groups that have very large amounts of capital on their platforms and a lot of volume, a lot of liquidity, where they can really control the markets any way they see fit. So then we thought, okay, well, what is another way that we can do things, right? What's another way that we can kind of change the curve, that we can, make things different and make things better? And then we looked at the idea of using algorithms, using software, using technology, and developing different types of products where users could control their own risk threshold, right? How aggressive or how non-aggressive they want to be on their own accounts, and they can let the products run and the products will open, close orders, and trade based on algorithms and indicators and pieces of technology that were previously developed. Well, in theory, that sounds great too, but what do you have happen? What you have happen is a lot of people that claim they have really good systems, and when you try them, they work for a month, maybe 2 months, right? Maybe 3 if you're lucky, and then what happens? Something unfortunate. So we experienced that as well. So Cameron and I got to a point where we're like, man, there's got to be a way to really be able to do this. And we had a couple systems that worked pretty well. Our teams were fairly happy, but we wanted to do better. We wanted to create even more sophisticated systems. We were fortunate enough where we hit very high ranks in this industry. So we had the capital and the income to invest in technology, to invest in building development teams, to invest in cultivating the cream of the crop when it comes to making sure that you're not only being able to get incredible returns, but more importantly than the incredible returns is mitigating risk. That was the biggest thing that we are really wanting to emphasize. And so in 2021, around December, we released our own platform, our own fund, where people would have the ability to trade, not themselves, but participate in trading with our technologies and our services and so forth. And then that developed into what we have here with Nelo Life. And so what I want to do on this call is share just some information, because one thing you may not recognize in the trading world, if you're not familiar with it, and I completely understand if you're not, is that trading is actually black and white. It's not gray. And this is something that we really are big on, as a partner of Nelo, as us making that that partnership and wanting to cooperate and work with you guys. Our intention is not just to facilitate a good product for you guys. Our intention is to help you guys navigate this space so that you don't get burned, so you don't get taken advantage of. Because we have all been there where you're scrolling on Instagram or TikTok or one of these apps, and you see someone pull up in a really nice car, and they get out and they got a house, and there's maybe a girl on one side, or there's a nice watch, or maybe they're petting a panther, who knows, something absurdly ridiculous, right? And they're claiming how they can make crazy returns in the markets and how they're super successful, how they have millions of students that are amazing. And then you click and you see these people's testimonials saying, oh wow, I got this much money, I made this much money, I did these returns. And then you go, okay, I want to be a part of this too. The challenge is that most of these people don't have an FX Blue. And what an FX Blue is it is a way to identify the trading history of an account that's not biased. It doesn't judge. It is purely transparent and authentic, and just shares the data and the results. It can't be manipulated. It can't be changed in any way. It's just the true data. And so we would have people that we'd meet. Cameron's in Miami. He purchased a yacht last year that we're meeting on the boat, having a good time. And they claim that they do these returns. They claim they're great, and they pull up in a 488 Ferrari. And we go, great, show us your FX Blue. Well, I don't have an FX Blue. I don't attach that to my account. Well, why? Well, I decided I don't need to. Oh, so you're making money selling how to trade, and you have this car because you're selling how to trade, but your students, none of them have a track record of even 6 months of trading, not even you, right? So that's the differentiator. That's the black and white, is being able to have that data. So before I go into some of that data, I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, here we go. So this was in one of our trading communities. There's a post I did a while back when we were really building hard in the emblem space. But you can see this post, right? Nearly 10,000 comments, almost 2,000 likes just on a post in our community, just to show you guys that we've been there. We know it's like building organizations. We know it's like building teams. So as I build, as I go into this, really quickly, just getting an understanding of what our goal is. Our goal is to be a preeminent asset manager on the international stage and really focus on asset prevention and capital growth, right? We all want to gain, we all want to grow, but we don't want to lose. So our strategy is a mix between algorithmic and human. So we have algorithms that are constantly in the market scanning for opportunities to enter and to mitigate risk. We also have those algorithms that are incredibly sophisticated. And we also have a team of developers. And these developers have an incredible trading experience. And they also are looking for really good sequences, looking out for news, looking out for opportunities that could be really good trading, and looking out for times that we need to stay out of the markets. Sometimes the best long-term strategy of winning is just not losing, and it's just not trading. And a lot of people don't realize that, but sometimes you win by just not losing and by not trading. So what is our investment strategy, right? Our investment strategy really is to build upon compound interest, all right? We think that really small wins each day is what creates a long-term winning strategy. We understand that it is the cornerstone of wealth. It is one of the most important things that you can do. And most people fail to realize how incredible compound interest can truly be. And with us, we do have 7 years of trading experience. We've worked with top brokers. We've worked with pretty much all the craziest, best algorithms you've seen on the market. The algorithms you've seen that look like they're good, we found the teams that actually built them, and then we found the teams that they paid to actually get them created, and then we found the institutions that actually licensed those out. That's how far up the chain that we've gone to figure out all the best systems. So that being said, we really want to focus on not getting great returns every day, every week, but taking a look more macro at, how'd the quarter perform, right? How was the quarter? How is the year? And if we can be consistent every quarter or even every year, that's a win for us, right? That's something that we're really passionate about. We're really looking forward to consistently do as we have done before. So I talked a little bit about this, but we do monitor a lot of what's going on in the markets. We look at a lot of different reports, a lot of data that happens every single week. That is not cheap to do, and that's kind of what has also helped us given our edge is the amount of money we've invested to just getting data, and that our development team has been able to identify. But one thing that I really want to impress upon you guys is just this idea of compound interest, because I can go in here, and if you don't know too much about investing, I can show you returns of, let's say, 1% a month, and you'll see those 1% a month returns, and you'll think, wow, 1% a month, that seems kind of low. If I had 100 grand and I did 1%, I'd only make $1,000. That's not that much money. I need more money than $1,000 a month, right? And I get it. I understand. I know what it's like. And then you'll see someone. Again, you guys are gonna, when you get to know me, you're gonna get annoyed at my redundancy about the dude on Instagram petting the panther, right? But that's just true. Where there's a guy going, well, I can get you 20% a month returns, right? You go, man. Well, if I had 100 grand, I did that, I'd make 20 grand in a month. That'd be amazing. So for those of you that are familiar with trading, you may have seen products that exist that you've heard do 10% a month, 12% a month, 15% a month, things like that. I want you to understand the difference. And even just doing a 10% a month return versus just a 5% a month return, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys a little example. I want you to imagine taking $1,000 and I want you to imagine putting it in an investment that claims, quote unquote claims, that it can do 10% every month in the markets, okay? And I want you to imagine you took that $1,000, put it in the markets, and you didn't touch it for for 10 years. So 10 years, you don't touch it, okay? I'm gonna let it run, I'm gonna let it slide, let's just let this thing grow. So for 10 years, you don't touch that $1,000, okay? And it's doing 10% a month. Can anyone just guess how much they think that would have done in 10 years? Now, you may be thinking, oh, maybe 200 grand, maybe 50 grand, maybe 300 grand. Here's the real answer. If you took $1,000 and it did 10% a month for 10 years, your $1,000 would be almost $93 million. $93 million with $1,000 in 120 months. If someone could do 10% a month, every single month, consistently for 10 years, they would not be talking to you because they would be on their own island. You see what I'm saying? They would be doing their own thing. They would not be trying to convince you that they can do 10% a month every single month, back to back, back to back, back to back. Because $1,000 will become 92 million, which is absurd. It's absolutely absurd, right? It's just not possible. But now let's look at, instead of 10%, let's just look at 5%, okay? Let's look at what it would be like if it was 5% a month instead, all right? Now, some of you may think, wow, if it was 10%, it was 92 million. If it's 5%, maybe it's 40 million, right? So if you took $1,000 every single month, 5% for 10 years, here's the difference. Look at this. $348,000 in 10 years. Now, that's pretty freaking amazing. If in 10 years you took $1,000 and made it 350K, pat on the back. But is that 93 million? An absurd difference. But the monthly is only a 5% spread of the two returns. This is how people get caught in this industry. This is how people get taken advantage of and manipulated. Is they're told that they can do these crazy high returns and then they get burned. The difference is massive. So the reason why I want to share that is because with our fund and with what we've brought to Nelo, we've been fortunate enough to average out 5% a month for our clients. Now, is that going to happen next month? I don't control the markets. Has it happened the last few months? It has. So this is just a way to share with you guys that you want to find that sweet spot. And that sweet spot is easier said than done. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to share with you guys just a little bit of our data, our FX Blue. As I go through here, I pop in our overview, you will see that from inception, which is December 19th of 2021, once this puppy loads, we have done a little over 360% return, okay? So 360%, we're happy with. We're not arguing. We're not complaining. We'll take 360%. Just to put that in perspective, if you went, hey, you know what? I'm going to put my money in this. Let's see how it looks. And you put $100,000 in this, and you did a 360% return, your $100,000 right now, if you got in December, 23rd of 2021, you right now, your 100 grand would be $460,000. So who'd be happy turning 100 grand to 460 from near the end of 2021 till now? I would be pretty thrilled, and I am, because I put in a lot more than 100 grand. So monthly return, an average of 5.4%. But here's the thing we're really excited about. Peak drawdown, 7.3%. And what does that mean? This means that in order to get the returns that we've been consistently doing, the max risk we're looking at is anywhere between 7 to 7.3%. So if you had 100 grand and you made 5 grand in a month, you made that 5 grand, and only $7,000 of that 100 grand was even in trades, was even in the markets moving. So that risk to reward is incredible. And if I click here at the risk factor, just to give you guys an idea, you see that monthly return on average. But here's what's amazing. This. What does this determine? This determines the likelihood of trades losing, right? Of trades not going in your favor. So throughout this experience, one time we took a 4% loss, right? That's pretty low, right? Especially if you're doing 360% over the span of as long as we've done for, right? So as you look at some of these stats and as you look at some of this data, what you'll come to find is the risk to reward ratio is pretty incredible. What this does is it gives us a position where we can be confident in saying that when we're taking these trades and when we're in the markets, we're pretty confident that we're not going to wake up tomorrow and have this crazy risk of ruin. So this is another thing we're really confident about. This is called risk of ruin. It shows the likelihood of you losing an amount of money. So you losing 100% of your account, 0, 90, 0, 80, 0, 70, 0, 10%. This data shows that there's a 0.2% risk of you losing 10% of your account. But on the flip side, the monthly return is about 5.4. Okay? Those are pretty good odds in my opinion. I'm pretty happy with those. If we also look at the average on a monthly basis, we can go out and look, let me jump through here, at the monthly return as well. So if I click monthly return, you can see how the account has performed on a monthly basis as well. 15.5, 15.7, 23.1. So here you see a 3.7% loss. And this is a 0.4% loss. But if you made 1.7 or 10% the month before, you're not really worrying. That's why we're not focused just monthly. We're focused on an average. But look, through these experiences, the returns have been very, very consistent. Now, with this data, we just last year grossed 65% in returns. 65% for clients. That's 65% in one calendar year, okay, with not peaking 7% risk. So how did we get here? We got here by messing up. Cameron and I got here by making tons of mistakes. We got here by learning from experiences, learning from failures. There's been times where Cameron and I were sitting in my house going, dude, back in 2017, 2018, 2019 going, I don't know how we're going to figure out what we're going to do. I don't know how we're going to get our next check, because we had to deal with a lot of volatility in our businesses before we really got dialed in. This was not a swift road. So if you ever hear me talk about good things or things that could make me come off as overconfident or cocky or things like that. If you know me, it's because I've experienced the pain, I've experienced the issues, I've experienced the heartache, I've experienced being in debt, I've experienced sleeping on buddy's couch, I've experienced all of that. I've been through the journey. I know what you've experienced if you've been through those just really, really tough times. But also, I cannot express to you how transformational it is to have an 8-month son, my first kid, and I can be home all day, provide for my family, and just hang out with him as much as I want and turn my phone off if I don't want to. If I don't need to respond to a text, I don't. If I want to get on a call, I will. To have that flexibility, have that control, to go, hey, fam, let's go spend 3 months in Italy later this year, where we're going to have 3 months just in Italy with my son and my wife, private drivers taking us from hotel to hotel, like literally at 5-star resorts the entire time. And I'm just going to be able to spend 90 days in Europe with my family, completely with my investment income, right? That is the world that we want to create for people at Nelo Life. That's the world that we want to create for you guys, is to build a massive organization with this company, right? To scale something profound with what Eric and Larry and Nick have given you guys, right? These guys are servant leaders. They understand this industry because they have built not just massive teams, but they've dominated network marketing for decades. And they took their own like literal risk to build a business model they knew would help the everyday person. Well, we want you guys to take that company to billions in sales, right? We want you guys to take that company to so much growth that your life is transformed. But then with that new level of success, with that newfound wealth you've created for yourself, put it in vehicles, not just ours, right? Not just our trading platform, right? Invest in other things, but put it in things that will give you even more freedom on top of that, right? That's how you become untouchable. That's how you become someone that is a force in this industry that doesn't need anyone, but people need you. And that's what we want. We want people to be magnetized to your presence because you have so much abundance, there's so much wealth in your life. You don't need any one person to dictate you or your family's trajectory in wealth and in your financial freedom. So if you're on board for that, that's what we're about, and that's what we're excited to do. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pass it to my business partner, one of my best friends. I've known this guy since we were 19 years old. I'm turning 32 in a month, and we've worked together since we were 19 years old, okay? I'm from Seattle. He's from Portland, Oregon. We now live in Florida, and we have gone through just a crazy journey trying to figure this stuff out. But he's over in Bali right now. He's going to spend a little bit of time in Sydney, and he's going to fly back to Miami. But just to give you guys perspective, earlier this year, he was in Dubai. He was traveling all around. He spent some time in Colombia. Cameron has really gotten to a point where he's enjoying the fruit of his efforts over the last few years. He called me, I think it was a year ago, a year and a half ago, because I live in Orlando and he's in Miami. He's like, hey, when's the next time you're coming out? I go, I don't know why. He goes, well, check my Instagram. And I check, and he posted a 70-foot Sunseeker. He's like, yeah, we just purchased a yacht. And I go, what? He goes, yeah, it's just gonna be a good thing we can do to network, meet people, have a good time with friends. And I was just like, I was baffled. I was like, are you serious? This is yours? Like, yeah, this is mine. And, I'm like, well, what years is it? Like a 1980, yacht? Like, is it from like 1996? And it's like a Wolf of Wall Street type of yacht that's like going to be broken and like half not working. He's like, no, it's like literally like from 2015. It's fairly new. I'm like, holy shit, dude. Okay, that's amazing. Excuse my language. But again, I don't say that to say, we're so cool. I say that to say we want to collaborate, we want to network, we want to add value with this community. If you're in Miami, give him a ring. Say, hey, dude, let's go. Let's make this thing happen. Let's collaborate. Let's make some videos. Let's have a fun time. So anyway, I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to share. I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to give this product a test run for all of you. I really am grateful for you guys to be able to experience what I've been able to experience, what Cameron's been able to experience. And before I bring on Cameron, one last thing. Who uses this product? The largest users of this system is myself and my family, and Cameron and his family. We use this more than anyone else. Now, we have other people involved, but we have actually put our money up ourselves. So this is not one of those things that I hate in this industry where someone says, hey, use said product, and they don't even use it, right? Hey, use the skin cream, and their skin looks like it's about to fall off because it's so ashy, right? Hey, use this makeup, and their makeup looks like, my 8-month-old did it, right? Hey, use this weight loss supplement. It's going to be great. And they can't sit in an airplane seat. That's not us. That's not who we are. We're not about that. We use the products that we believe in. So anyway, Cam, I'm going to pass it to you. Guys, thank you for letting me share as well. And yeah, floor is yours, buddy.
Can't hear you, boss. There you go.
Can you guys hear me now? Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Well, yeah, Dee, thanks for passing it over. Yeah, I'll keep it as brief as possible. Obviously, we're very excited about what we're bringing to the table here, but I'll share a little bit of my story really quickly and kind of what it's done and how we've gotten to this point. Because I know that we're kind of right on the, I don't know, maybe 3 yard line, 2 yard line of launching this thing. And I can't say, and I'm gonna, my partner Derek has a heck of a gift in presenting, like Nick said at the start of this call. But I got to share with you guys, we with what we've uncovered in the last 7 years of trading, in the last just about 12 months, we started to become the prey. We started to get hunted by institutions, and we got hunted by a good friend of ours, Nick, who's on this call. And just as Derek's explaining, a little bit more of his lifestyle and some of the things that have transformed. I knew Derek back when he was sleeping on those couches. I knew Derek when he was my broke college roommate. When we had first started our businesses. I had known when we were, we couldn't really cover an extra Chipotle bowl, so on and so forth. And the transformation that's happened, I have to attest it to the fact that we, kept running through issues, kept losing money, but we maintained a vision, and we kept the sight that, if there's other people out there that were trading huge institutional funds, if there's other people out there trading and able to turn 30% in a year, 100% in a year, we could figure this out. So about 7 years ago, I came across trading, and I saw all these people that were winning, and I got super excited about the concept of being able to open up my laptop, make trades in the market, become profitable, and I could do this anywhere in the world. And now looking back on it, it took about 4+ years before we came up with the systems and the dev teams and the trading technology and the capital to be able to invest back into our business to where we could, like Derek said, we did 65% last year. My parents are now making more money than they've ever made in their life through the fund that we launched. Derek has basically retired his mom, is going to be traveling all over the world with his family. And we launched this whole thing, like Derek was talking about, we launched this whole thing with privately. We did it through friends, through family. And that first about year and a half, we were doing the presenting, we were, doing the networking. And as of a couple months ago, we have now signed on 2 different institutional investing groups that are now hunting us. And so Nick gave me a call, I think it was just over a month and a half ago. And, Nick's had some capital in, and he's been watching this basically since day one. And he gave me a call, and he was explaining the vision, what he wanted to do, and bringing this to the average person. And myself and Derek and Dante, we had been in network marketing, in and out. We'd seen some great success. Some had been big builds. Some weren't as big as others. And we could relate to the person that was trying to make it happen. We could relate to the person that was trying to make an extra $500. I can relate to the person that was trying to make an extra couple $1,000 that would be life-changing money. And also can relate to the person that's trying to hit a home run, that's really trying to do something special. And Nick was like, look, man, I really think that, I know your guys' life is a lot easier now. You have, a couple dozen clients instead of thousands. I know that, you're able to travel. You guys are living this lifestyle, and this is really starting to work out, and the momentum's built on your guys' side. And I'm envious of you guys, but I think that we have an opportunity to actually go and change a lot of lives. And to me, when I called Derek, when I had a conversation with Dante, within an hour of talking with Nick, it just felt selfish. It just felt a little bit, it just didn't feel it didn't feel right to kind of turn our back on the industry and not give the same opportunity that we had. Because for myself, Derek talked about putting in a lot of capital into this, but he didn't put a lot of capital immediately. He didn't have loads and loads and loads of cash. I didn't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to immediately jump in. We started to use the power of compounding, 3%, 6%, 4%, 2%, 8%, 5%, 6% of these monthly returns. And we were able to use it almost like an accelerated bank account. And this is how this compounding effect changed our situations. Yes, we've made some purchases and had some fun, and we're continuing to do that. But we can show you guys a roadmap of how we did it. And when you look back at the 27 months of results that we have, we don't see why, with this business model and with this trading opportunity, why you can't do the same thing. And we want to keep it very simple. And throughout this time that we're in this kind of pre-launch stage, and once we launch this thing, you're gonna hear Derek be a broken record. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna get annoyed of me, because I'm gonna keep you guys so grounded and explain to you over and over again. Our philosophy with our trading is we do not take more risk on our trading. We hustle harder so we can add more capital to our trading account. Because here's the fact, is that when you look at the time frame in which your life can change, it's multiple years, unless you already have a lot of capital to start with. But if you already have a lot of capital, then you're probably not necessarily needing something right now. But if I'm talking to you and you're like, hey, an extra $3,000 a month or an extra $500 a month or $1,000 a month would change my situation, then you're in the right place, and you obviously need this, just like I once did. So yes, our lives have changed. We believe we're looking at the perfect storm with this situation. We have all the data, all the experience. We have a whole team, a trading team. We've been doing this for not just months, but multiple years, and it's lining up beautifully. I gave a little bit of my story. I do live in Miami, but I'm from Portland, Oregon. I went the normal route as everyone else, and I ended up actually deviating off of that route. I ended up dropping out of college, and kind of my claim to fame is that I've started more businesses that have failed than succeeded. And I'm happy to share that, because those experiences and those failures have taken me and some of my great friends and business partners to the heights that we are at today. And we can run that we're running that playbook back for all of you guys that are ready to sprint with us. So Dee, I'm going to pass it back to you, or whoever wants to take over this thing. But for myself, it has been an absolute blessing. It's been so exciting to see 7 years of trading cultivated up until this point, where we have a successful fund. We're going to be plugging it into this incredible leadership team. These people that know what they're doing, have the experience, know how to run a business, have done so in the past many times and taken huge builds. And we're going to be plugging it in. And to look at the clients that we've had, like for us, myself and Derek, we haven't done much marketing. We haven't done really anything at all. So no one really knows about this. And we really feel like right now, over the course of the next year, 2 years, 5 years, and beyond, 10 years, we can make a huge difference. And you guys are just at the precipice of this whole thing. So thanks for having me on. I am on the other side of the planet right now. I am in Bali. I know some people are out here also in Southeast Asia. I look forward to connecting with some of you guys. If we can connect, I'm going to be here for a couple more weeks. Then I'm going to bounce over to Australia. I'm going to be in Sydney for a little bit, and I'm going to head back to the United States. So I know we're going to be running these calls plenty more times before we actually launch. But I can't tell you enough. I'm excited. I'm losing sleep over this thing. It's making too much sense for us to say no. I wouldn't say that Nick was begging, but I would say that he was very persuasive, and we didn't want to say no, but man, it's a perfect storm. So, D, I'm happy to pass it back to you. But Nick, Larry, Eric, thank you guys for the opportunity. Really excited to lock arms with you guys and sprint and really do something special. And when I say we're excited, I know that's an overused term here, but it's just making too much sense. So bye for now. Thanks you guys for having me on.
See you, Cam. I'll pass it to you, Nick. If you have questions for us, I can answer questions too. I know it's late for Cam, but I'm available if you want to take it, whatever you want to do.
No, I think we're good for this now. We appreciate everyone jumping on. We will have a lot more of these Zooms coming up in the coming weeks, getting closer to launch when everything gets kicked off. Just get all the I's dotted, the T's crossed, and make sure this thing is very simple. And so we appreciate you guys jumping on. I know that there are a lot that do have questions, but we will have more and more Zooms leading up to this coming out. But we are excited, just like things in the past. And I'm going to bring it on and have Dante share something really quick, just on his experience trading as well too. So where Cameron was the first person that ever set up a software for me, Dante was the first person I ever jumped on that actually was a live Instagram, or excuse me, a live to teach me how to trade live. So Dante, kind of take away your experience in trading and why you're excited about this.
No problem. Again, just want to say shout out to Derek and Cam. Super excited. We were all in the trading space together, Cameron, Derek, myself, and Nick for like 6 years. And when Nick first brought me the idea of this incredible company, I'm like, dude, we have to go get them. And I was like, I can't say anything to them. Like, these are like my guys. We're all equals, but we all look at you as a mentor and somebody who we just have a high level of respect for. You got to go do it. And Nick was able to go and make that happen. So super, super excited for the partnership. Again, just want to reiterate that any past profits or anything it is that you guys have seen on this call does not guarantee anything in the future, but it does give you guys just a realistic track record and expectations as far as what can happen. But we can't, it is trading. Trading does require risk, but it's how Derek and Cam have really built this system to mitigate said risk. And we feel like what we found here is truly, we don't believe that there's a better business model on earth than something where you don't have to necessarily be fully responsible for trading. I've been a manual trader now for like 7 years. I've made big money in the markets. I've lost big money in the markets, and it is a very much a roller coaster ride. And when I see something where the funds are actually being managed for you by professionals who have multiple developers, it's set up very, very well for you guys to have success. Something that I truly want to harp on and make sure that you guys know is clear is that Nelo's job and goal is to bring premium products to you that you are paying that $59 subscription to have access to. So you're getting multiple premium products. You guys have seen our travel situation, but this trading piece is a premium level opportunity. People come to Cam and Derek all the time with hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to participate in that opportunity. And you get access to it for $59 a month. And there's really no minimum investment. So you can start this thing with $100 or 200 USD. Again, we wouldn't say that's the most ideal thing for you month one, but that's something for you to be able to start. And I know a lot of times people don't have access to funds like this because they don't have enough capital to start. And what Nelo has done is to bring the barrier of entry down to a baseline level to where wherever it is that you are, you can get started in this opportunity. And what I've shown people for years now that I'm even more excited to be able to show in this opportunity is really, and Derek showed you guys a little bit about this when it comes to compounding, but let's just use the example again of saying, let's say somebody gets started with $100 when the fund launches. $100 we're talking about here. And for the next 10 years, we continue to average that 5%. That'll turn into $34,000. Why I love what Nelo has is because I can go to the average person and say, yes, $100 invested in this is not going to change your life over the next few years. But what will change your life is taking the business opportunity of this opportunity serious and going and building that business. Let's just say you guys know about our starter bonus here at Nelo, to where you get $25 for any time it is you directly enroll somebody. Let's say every month you enroll 2 people directly and you say, you know what, I'm going to put that $50 that I'm going to earn from the company into the actual investment. that $34,000 right here, when you don't add any monthly contribution to it, if you were to add $50 to your account every single month, this jumps up to $380,000. Somebody who started with $100 and enrolls 2 people every month and adds $50 to the fund if these things were to continue over this time. What would that look like if somebody's saying, hey, I'm going to put $100 for my matrix check inside of the fund every single month? What would that look like for me over the next decade? We're talking about jumping these numbers up to where you're approaching $1 million mark now by adding $100 into the account every single month. I show this because the combination and the triangle of, you have this opportunity, you have now an investment opportunity, and now you have a business to where you can go and leverage what is it that you just saw on this call, what is it that we have here inside of this opportunity, and say, you know what, I can make this thing work and really create insulation for my family by having a business that's paying you monthly, by having investments that are paying you, and truly, and then obviously building a network and being able to meet and know people. We're going to be at events. You guys are going to be able to see and meet Cam and Derek in person, and we're going to really do this thing big time. But I get excited about this because I know what it can mean for people long term. I know what trading has done for me in my own life, and I recognize that there's no better way to be in the markets as somebody who is newer than to have your money invested with professionals and being able to have a safe, consistent return. If you compare what you just saw, what Derek just showed you on the FX Blue, to the top hedge funds in the entire world, you're going to see that we've actually been able to do more than those funds and do it more safely, which is incredible. So you guys are literally sitting on a golden opportunity. I don't like to use the term once in a lifetime, but when I see this, it creates something that I truly believe is special. It just won't matter if you don't take advantage of it. So I encourage you all to say, you know what, I'm going to plug in, I'm going to engage, I'm going to trust that Nick, Eric, and Larry have built the backbones of this company to last long term. I'm going to trust the fact that this fund that I just learned about right here is going to continue. And I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to grab this thing by the horns and go ahead and run with it. There are going to be some who wait and watch. There are going to be some who say, you know what, this is my time, this is my moment. And I feel like this is that opportunity for you. And I'm going to swing it back to Nick, but I'm excited to be a part of this. I'm excited that they said yes to this opportunity. I'm excited that Nick and Eric and Larry say, you know what, we're going to go and be the most transparent owners that you guys have ever had the opportunity to work with and build this infrastructure so that way we can bring in high-end products like what it is that you guys just saw here from Derek and Cam. So this thing is in your court now. I'm here. We're going to be launching sometime where I don't have a date because I don't want to get in trouble. So I'll let Nick go ahead and give you guys some details, but you guys can get started. This thing is for everybody who is international, and we're pumped up. So I'll swing it back to you, Nick.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it, Derek, Cameron, Dante. Incredible information. Like they said, this is for people that are outside the United States. We are completely excited and jacked for you. When Eric did call me, a short time ago and said, "Hey, we should do this." He's like, "I want to include a lot of the trading stuff you do," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not the guy for it. I trade my own." I said, "But I do know them," and I said, "If they're willing to jump on board and willing to play and willing to participate, this will be a massive win because." They run things very conservative. They run things, very, very by the book. And it's the philosophies, right? It's like Cameron hit on it and said, and Derek hit on it and said, it's not, more risk, it's more capital. And there's a phenomenal vehicle here to people to bring it to. So you'll get more information in the coming weeks. When we have an exact day, we'll put that out there. We are not far off. It is just weeks out. But we're excited to bring this as well as many other things to, our platform here with Nelo Life. Appreciate you all. You guys have a great day or evening for those that are in Europe, those that are in Asia. Good night, and we'll talk to y'all soon.
Go Nelo. Thanks, guys.